I'm going to go ahead and call a meeting to order at 6 p.m. This is a special meeting for Tuesday, April 29th, 2025, for a budget public hearing. Madam Clerk, will you take the roll?
I will. Tim Hale.
Here.
Stephanie Nowers.
Here.
Dee McKee.
Here.
Maxwell Sumner.
Here.
Bill Gamble.
Here.
Dimitri Fonoff.
Here.
Ron Bernier.
Present.
Madam Mayor, you do have a quorum.
Thank you. Are there any changes to the agenda from the assembly? Okay, seeing and hearing none, then the agenda is approved as presented. You all stand. And Assemblyperson Hale, will you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and then I do have a National Day of Prayer proclamation. I guess maybe I'll just do it from up here. So whereas the National Day of Prayer is a time-honored tradition that involves all people of all faiths together in prayer and reflection for our nation, our leaders, and our communities. And whereas from the earliest days of our nation's founding, public calls to have prayer have had a meaningful role in the formation of our nation. Whereas Congress formally established the use of National Day of Prayer in 1952 and in 1988 designated the first Thursday of May of each year as a day when Americans are encouraged to pause and to pray for spiritual guidance, strength, and peace. And where individuals and groups across the Mat-Su Borough and the United States will gather on this day in observation, offering prayers for our families, our community, our state, and our nation. And whereas the act of prayer, whether in private or in public, serves as a reminder of the shared values of hope, compassion, and unity that strengthens the fabric of our community. Now, therefore, I, Edna DeVries, Mayor of the Mat-Su Borough, do hereby proclaim May 1st, 2025 as National Day of Prayer in the Mat-Su Borough and encourage all residents to reflect, pray, and join in your community activities that are on that day. In witness hereof, I set my hand and cause the seal of the Mat-Su Borough to be fixed on the 29th day of April 2025. Thank you.
Amen.
The next, we do have a sign-up sheet. Good. Okay. The next item on our agenda is audience participation, and as always, we will take those people that have signed up first, and then it'll be open to everybody, anybody else that doesn't. So, Tanner Baird? Beard? Or Baird?
Does that work?
Yep.
So please forgive me. This is the first time I attended an assembly meeting.
Okay.
I am just bringing good evening and thank you for this opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Tanner Baird. I'm the head coach for the 16U for Alaska Polar Fast Pitch, which is a competition team located here in the Mat-Su Valley. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization committed to the development of young female athletes between ages 10 and 16. Our mission goes far beyond the game. We focus on building confidence, leadership, and a strong sense of community in the girls as we coach them. On behalf of my organization, I'm here today to respectfully request unanimous approval from the Assembly to waive the field usage fees for the Alcantara ball fields. We're requesting these fees be waived not just for the 16U team, but organization-wide. As a nonprofit, we rely heavily on community support and volunteer efforts to operate. Every dollar saved by waiving these fees goes right back into supporting our athletes, helping cover equipment, travel, and keeping the program accessible to families of all backgrounds inside the Valley. We're actively working with Mr. Hugh Leslie and Mr. Ian Delac to bring Alcantara ball fields back to playable condition. This includes tasks like leveling the fields, preparing dugouts, improving signage, and ensuring the space is safe and welcoming. Our vision is to make Alcantara our official home field, something these young athletes can take pride in and call their own. In addition to competition and development, we strongly believe in mentorship and community services. We love hosting open gyms, youth clinics, and participating and partnering with local programs like Palmer Little League. These events give our players the chance as role models to helping younger children build confidence, develop skills, and feel supported by the local sports community and build future athletes. It's about creating a positive cycle of growth and giving back. Waiving the field fee would not only help us reach that goal, but it also support a broader investment in your youth sports access across the valley. By supporting Alaska Polar Fast Pitch, you're investing in positive youth development, local family engagement, and keeping the community's youth athletes active and involved in a safe and structured environment. In return, we're committed to bringing good stewardess to facilities. We'll continue to contribute labor and resources towards field maintenance, organize community cleanup days, and share field access across local youth organizations whenever possible. Thank you for supporting our requests. And on behalf of my organization, thank you for your continued support for youth athletes inside the Mat-Su Valley. We look forward to this opportunity to continue building something meaningful with your partnership. I'll be standing by for any questions you have at this time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Nancy?
Hi. My name is Nancy Bertels, and I'm a resident of the Sutton community. The Jonesville Public Use Area was created in 2018 by the Alaska State Legislature. The passage of this bill gave our community hope that this beautiful area could once again be a safe, clean place for recreation. For more than 7 years, the community of Sutton has been working with the borough and the state to help create a plan and create change in an area that receives heavy recreational and sometimes unlawful use all year long. Each weekend, especially during the summer months, up to 2,000 visitors each weekend from outside our community come to recreate. The area cannot sustain the current use without providing some basic services for sanitation and safety. Our community council continues to be actively involved in this effort to create a safe recreation area for multiple users. I would like to thank you for your previous support of Jonesville, and I hope you will support the current $500,000 capital appropriation for this project. Thanks.
Thank you. Mary?
Good evening. My name is Mary Robinson, R-O-B-I-N-S-O-N. I am a Mat-Su Borough resident, and I represent myself. I could see you admiring my Palmer Library t-shirt. I just came from the special meeting that the city of Palmer held to try to move forward on building the library. And as those of you who know me know that I constantly, ceaselessly advocate for libraries and also intellectual freedom. As Mayor DeVries pointed out, May 1st, one of the many things we celebrate is National Day of Prayer. It's also May Day, celebrating the workers, and it is also Law Day. Law Day has been in effect since 1958. President Eisenhower established it as a day of national dedication to the principles of government under law. State bar associations hold essay competitions for school children, and there are state and national dinners most years. In 2025, Law Day takes on special significance as Americans' concerns about due process come to the forefront. This year, many lawyers across the country will retake their oath to show their support for the rule of the law. There is no reason the rest of the country can't participate too. As you discuss the budget, I'd like you to bear in mind that so far, the borough has spent $119,000, $89,000 for one plaintiff settlement, $30,000 for a second one, with still 2 more lawsuits to be settled. A conservative estimate, no pun intended, roughly $250,000 for 2 prestigious law firms from Anchorage for their legal fees, which brings us up to $369,000 that the borough has spent through the school district
because of violations of First Amendment rights. From the very beginning, I have said that the Borough Library Citizen Advisory Committee was ill-advised and misguided. They are going to cost you money, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. Thank you.
Thank you. Randy?
Hi, my name is Randy Crosby, and I live at mile 128 on the Parks Highway in Trapper Creek. I am here to put on my glasses first of all. To again provide input to the borough proposed gravel pit at mile 128 of the Parks Highway and give additional evidence to the public's desire to protect the area for its current uses and natural open space values. Here are just some of the planning processes that have occurred over the past 30 years, which can be best summarized as the South Denali planning efforts. There are very broad ideas involving the entire Parks Highway, as well as very detailed ideas involving specifically the land this gravel pit is proposed on at mile 128. Specifically, the 2009 Parks Highway Scenic Corridor Study highlights, and I quote, the Chilitna Bluff Greenbelt. At the public meeting, a number of residents suggested that the Matsu Borough lands between the Chilitna River and the Parks Highway between mile 126 and 131 be dedicated as a greenbelt for recreational public use only. Maintaining the historical trail, providing improved facilities and river access, and sensitivity to historical and archaeological sites were also noted as important goals, unquote. My concern is that the current borough land managers have rushed to establish a gravel pit that primarily benefits one contractor doing work on the state highway. This benefit was not even presented to the other bidders of the work so that the public could get the most benefit of competitive bidding. All the other public concerns, planning efforts, and benefits are not presented in the permit application. Gravel pits are necessary, but we already have more than enough gravel pits in the immediate area. I suggest the borough focus on providing input to the state and its processes to maximize the materials in the 128 and the 129 state pits, which have more than adequate material for this highway project and many other road projects in the future. By this Assembly passing resolution RS25-025 to enter into an agreement with the contractor for the mile 128 Parks Highway material sale before there was even a permitted gravel source is getting the cart before the horse, and is indicative to the rushed decision of the borough and disregards the public's best interest. I suggest the borough land managers and elected representatives slow down, review all the past planning efforts, and come up with a more balanced approach to development of this subject parcel. I think if the public, community members, and residents were consulted in a more comprehensive land management process, there might be a better solution that meets everyone's needs. This is not possible in the current administrative permit application. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So that concludes with those that had signed up, but now anyone else that would like to come and testify, you're welcome to come now.
Good evening. My name is Dave Cruz. I'm a Valley resident and a leaseholder on the Palmer Airport. Tonight, I am the Palmer Airport because John DeMonte, our airport manager, is over at the Palmer City Council meeting. So he asked me if I would speak for the airport. So I just was going to bring some statistics for you folks. Some of you folks were not here last year. We came in and had a request for funding for maintenance, wintertime maintenance only of the Palmer Airport. And the statistics, we were very fortunate to be granted $50,000 from the borough that went directly to paying for our equipment operator, seasonal equipment operator we had. In addition to that, for the folks that weren't here last year, we as the leaseholders agreed to a 30% increase in our lease to fund this, the seasonal equipment operator. Palmer Airport has grown, and grown. And the statistics that it has, we have over 50,000 takeoff and landings in a year there. Over 12,000 of those are business aircraft. And business aircraft goes everywhere from charter services, private airplane or private larger airplanes, and medevacs. And medevacs is of my biggest concern and why we requested this money. Medevacs serve all of the valley, life, safety, health. Palmer Airport has the only precision approach in the valley. What does that really mean? What that is, if there is an emergency, an airplane can fly by computer and land at the Palmer Airport on runway 10. It's called RV-10 approach. So all the pilot's going to do in the end is take control of the airplane within a couple hundred feet of that runway. So, and that is same thing that you'll see in Anchorage and same thing you'll see in Fairbanks. So it's, these people don't realize how much activity goes on after everyone goes to bed and how important it is for the maintenance of that runway. So there, we do not have a tower. We have a flight service there, and they close at 6 o'clock at night. The information goes, the last weather recordings goes to Kenai, and Kenai briefs the pilot. If there is, if it's snowing or ice or something, conditions like that, it's really a local person that's watching and seeing what's going on. And what that does is that if we have an incident with an aircraft, and it's happened in Glen Allen and killed a flight crew, is runway's open, really it's not, there's no one out here, and you crash a medevac aircraft, it's going to be pretty disastrous. So I'm asking if you'll consider again the $50,000 contribution that is exclusively used to support our seasonal snow removal person. And I'm available for any questions, but thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else that would like to testify? Yes, come on.
Hi, my name's Kathleen Graber. I go by Kate. And this is one of the first meetings I have attended since before the pandemic. Usually I watch you guys online and see what's going on, and I try to stay pretty active. Today we've been really busy. First, we went at 2 o'clock, the doors opened for MEA's annual meeting. And we went there. And we had to leave a little early because the city of Palmer decided to hold this meeting about the rebuilding of the Palmer Library, which it has been a heartbreaking thing as a Matsu Borough resident and not as a city of Palmer resident, because I'm just outside the city limits. And I understand that I actually pay, some of my money goes towards the library in my taxes I pay. But none of it goes to the Palmer Library, which is the library I use, which I find interesting, and it hasn't been going on for years. And why that happened, that even though it's a city library, it's in the Matsu Borough. So I want it to be reconsidered, that it start receiving some of the money that we pay in taxes as Matsu Borough residents, that it start going towards the City of Palmer Library. Because I just came from that meeting, which was, oh, what a nightmare, what a disaster. It was terrible. And I didn't speak there because I had to come over here to this meeting. And I'd been there since 4 o'clock. So I've been on the go. But I just wanted to say, you know, often you don't see people out here. I can't believe how few people are here, because there was more people, probably the most people I saw tonight was at MEA's annual meeting, because there was clearly over 300 people there. And plus there was like almost 200 that were doing it via Zoom. And then the depot was packed, standing room only, but yet here we are with hardly anybody here. And I'm really surprised, because like I said, I really haven't been here in person for quite a while. but I wanted you guys to know that we are watching, we are listening, and here's what I want. I want libraries, and I don't want any book banning. I don't want anybody else telling anybody what they should be reading. I've been out protesting against unconstitutional stuff going on right now, and against people being no due process and everything, and there's a lot of us. Just wanted you to know we're watching.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Good evening, Madam Mayor and Assembly. Thank you for having this special meeting. I just left the Palmer special meeting also. I'm handing you some more information about libraries and library books. And yes, this did come off the internet, but Alan Schofield, an attorney for the Montgomery County Public Schools, has just admitted to the Supreme Court that the school is trying to influence students by using sexually explicit books in classes, and I looked that up to make sure. It's in the case called Malmood, forgive me if I pronounce it wrong, versus Taylor. It was heard last week, and they'll do the decision in June, because the Taylor school decided not to let parents opt their children out, and parents filed a lawsuit about putting them in sexually explicit classes. The second one, as you can see, is what happens when you don't draw a line and hold it. They're having they canceled the sex ed summer camp for 5th to 8th graders to learn how to masturbate because of safety concerns. Okay, and I also looked at that one up, but I didn't give you the copy of that. I just want you to know. Now, thank you so much for doing the Library Citizens Advisory Committee. I know that you're being told that the books that are being reviewed have already been reviewed by the school district, and that is true. But that doesn't mean that we aren't supposed to do it, because they had 11 members on their committee, and 4 of them were part of the grooming commission. 4 of them were actually educated people who will want these in libraries and want this to continue. So the vote was always going to be a very skewed vote, okay? Now, the other thing, it wasn't exactly representing the community. It was representing the school district. 5 of those members were. Now, I want you to see the vote. They're going to tell you that these books were sent right back to the classes, right? And so we shouldn't even look at them. Well, if you look at, like, Water for Elephants, how many people said that it violated the law? 7. Now, remember, only 6 conservatives were on that committee. So one of the liberal school district members also said it violated the law. Look at Verity. 10 of them said it did. The only one that didn't was the one who was missing. There are reasons these books need to be reviewed. There are reasons the content needs to come out. Okay? These books are used to influence people. They're used to influence people to think and have sex all the time, and think about and have sex all the time, and get their children to think and have sex all the time in order to ruin the family unit, which is what the Marxist CCP has been doing by funding the colleges for the last 40 years. And if you look, you will find that Harvard and Yale have gotten huge endowments of billions of dollars from the CCP because they bought the curriculum to teach teachers to do this. People call me a conspiracy theorist. I got called one over there. Crazy conspiracy theorist. You do realize that masking and social distancing and everything else that I've been talking about, I was right on? Yes, I do conspiracies. They're not theories. Thank you so much for listening to me, and thank you so much for the LCAC. Thank you.
Jackie, would you state your name?
I did.
Oh, well, they
I
stated
did.
it.
I'm Jackie
so-
Goforth.
Okay,
Sorry.
all right. Thank you. Anyone else that would like to address the assembly on any subject? Okay, I don't see any movement. Okay. Go ahead, who's ever online, please.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Manager, Assembly, and staff. This is Moki 2 calling in. I am pushing for the borough to put the RSA road maintenance contracts back out for rebid that were bid last year. I kind of figured that would probably be about a $6 million savings to the taxpayers. I also believe that it would end up giving better service. our Big Lake representative noticed last year when he pulled the Big Lake contract and talked about it, and he said that it was not right to raise the mill rate to pay this contractor almost 3 times the price. Folks, you are the people that are supposed to keep the prices in a fair price range. If MEA or the garbage company or the gas company or anyone jack their prices up 3 times, you would be very upset. There would be an outrage. We need to put these back out for bid, get these prices back down to where they need to be. I don't think it's fair to charge 3 times the money, or almost 3 times. The regulatory commission, that is basically the assembly's job. There is none for road maintenance. And if road maintenance is not I don't choose to have road maintenance done. If the road maintenance doesn't get done, the ambulances can't go, the fire trucks can't go, the people can't go, the school kids can't go. It's something that we, the citizens, have to pay. We need you, the assembly, to stand up for us, be a regulatory commission, and say that price is too high. We need to be fair and reasonable to the citizens. And that's all I have for tonight, and thank you for listening.
Thank you. Do we have anybody else online, sir? We do not? Okay, one last chance for anyone here in the audience. Okay, I'll go ahead and close audience participation. And then the next item is a public hearing. And it works a little bit different on the budget, so I want to talk a little bit about this, and I'll be sure that the clerk keeps me on track. As you know, we've been having the budget public hearings. We had one in Wasilla, one in Willow, and now we're having the one tonight. And the proposed legislation, the ordinance that's before us, the public hearings will probably close after this public hearing is. And then the next assembly meeting we have for discussing the budget is going to be Thursday night at 6 o'clock. Now at 4 o'clock, we have a water body setback meeting with the assembly, which you're all welcome to come, and we'll have audience participation there too. But so on May 1st, this Thursday night, there, unless you want to testify under audience participation, there will not be any audience participation under the budget or for the budget. It'll be all the assembly. The assembly will be bringing forth their proposals, their changes, additions, subtractions, whatever they want to the budget ordinance. And if, say, one of the assembly moves an amendment and it passes and you wanted to say something about that, unless you testify under audience participation ahead of time, anticipating what they are going to move, you will not have that opportunity, okay? Do you have something to add to that, Madam Clerk? Okay, so it's a little bit different. Normally, we have introduction of an ordinance, and we have staff report, then we have the public hearing, then we have the assembly discuss it, and it's passed or rejected or postponed, like all in one night. But in order to be able to reach out to the large community we have, that's why we have so many of the budget hearings throughout the borough. So just so everybody knows. So, okay, so Madam Clerk.
Ordinance 25025, an ordinance appropriating monies from the central treasury for the borough operating funds, enterprise funds, education operating fund, and capital funds, establishing the rate of levy for all borough functions for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025, and ending June 30th, 2026, and setting the surcharge rate for the wireline and wireless enhanced 911 systems for the period of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. If you're on the phone and would like to speak to this, press *3.
Okay, so the clerk has, and so I'll now go ahead and open this public hearing. We do have some people that have signed up, but again, we'll open it up to anybody else also. So Casey?
Hi, Madam Mayor, Manager Brown, and the Mat-Su Borough Assembly. My name is Casey Ressler. I'm with the Mat-Su Convention and Visitors Bureau. Thanks you for coming and seeing us up in Talkeetna. We appreciated that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that our Vice Chair, Kiera Childers, is here. I'd like to introduce her. Thanks for putting the extra pressure on me. I'm just here to thank you guys for your support for destination marketing. For the last 29 years, we've been partners with the Mat-Su Borough, for 39 years, doing destination marketing, and that benefits small and large businesses across the entire borough. That's a relationship that we value, but I can promise you we don't take it for granted. We are constantly looking for better ways, more efficient ways, and more targeted ways to reach our potential visitors to help drive the local tourism economy. I know you have a lot of big decisions to make with your budget, but again, I just wanted to reiterate our thanks and gratefulness for the support of destination marketing. This is a particularly exciting year because, as you guys know, we will be moving into the Gateway Visitor Center. I've already apologized to Tom Adams for stealing a gold shovel at the groundbreaking, but I can't tell you how excited we are to open that facility and drive visitor engagement and really become even a bigger force in the economy of the Mat-Su Borough through tourism. So thank you again for your support, and we appreciate it.
Thanks, Casey. And the clerk is handing out a solicitation, I guess, or some information on the gateway, what it's going to look like in the end. And if you haven't driven by it or seen all the trees that have come down, they're working pretty hard out there. So, Nancy again? Thank you.
Once again, my name is Nancy Bertels, and I live in Sutton. I'm proud to say that all ages of our community in Sutton appreciate and use the library. In our community, families continue to show their support for our library by showing up to use the material, services, and attend programs. I'm here to ask you to continue to support the budgets of Mat-Su Borough libraries. In fiscal year 24 in Sutton, 2,582 children between the ages of 1 and 17 attended programs. An additional 1,000 people attended community programs. In that same period, 20,978 people visited our facility to use the services they provided. These numbers and enthusiasm for libraries reflect something quite different from what you have been hearing from a small contingent of our population. Libraries are loved, used, and vital in each of our communities. Yes, they provide books and material, but more importantly, they are the space in our community where people come together to seek information, learn, attend meetings, and debate with each other. The cost of libraries in our borough is one that families can afford. They are a place where they and their children can attend programs without breaking the family bank. On average, libraries cost the borough taxpayer $48 a year to support, less than the cost of 3 children's hardback books. In a time of worry, fear, and polarization, the library is a positive force in our communities. Supporting our libraries means supporting education, fairness, and community resilience. As the budgets are proposed and decisions are made, please fund and protect our libraries accordingly. Thanks.
So that's the people we had signed up, but we're open to any other people that would like to give some input. And on this particular public hearing, it is just on the budget ordinance. So is there anyone that would like to say anything? Okay, do we have anybody online? We do not have anybody online. One last time for anybody in the audience. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close public hearing on the ordinance 25-025. And Deputy Mayor?
I move to postpone ordinance 25-025 to May 1st, 2025.
Okay, is there discussion by the assembly? Is there any objection by the assembly? Okay, seeing and hearing no objection, then ordinance 25-025 has been postponed until, this will be Thursday night, May 1st, 2025. And at that time, it will be the discussion by the assembly to present any requests that they have or amendments to the budget. Okay, everybody clear on that? Okay, and so now we're ready for parting comments. Mr. Attorney, parting comments? No. Assemblyperson McKee, parting comments? No. Deputy Mayor, parting comments?
Thank you everyone for coming out. Thank you, Mayor, with the proclamation for May 1st. I think every day should be a day of prayer. And I would like to thank our Lord, our Father, Jesus. Please bless the valley. Please bless our veterans, our first responders. Help our parents to teach your children to love and take care of everyone. We ask you to keep everyone safe. Keep the valley in peace and bring your spirit. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Assemblyperson Hale, parting comments?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. No comment.
Okay, Assemblyperson Nowers, party? No. Mr. Brown, party? Madam Clerk, party?
I just wanted to let the assembly know that Joelle Church, who's the records management officer for the Matsu Borough in my office, her last day is tomorrow. She's served the clerk in the clerk's office for, I do believe it's 28, maybe 29 years. She's been here a long time. She got the records management system that we use up and running, and it's taken a long time. Tomorrow she's going to help us interview people that have applied. So she's had a long service, great service, and she's going to be greatly missed. But I wanted to let you know she's retiring before me, darn it.
Assemblyperson Sumner, parting comments?
Yeah, as was mentioned during audience participation, today was the MEA annual meeting, and I was in attendance, and I thought I'd fill everyone in if you couldn't make it. There was presentation by the audit committee, the finance committee. The CEO had a report on diversification and the looming natural gas shortage. There was a $35,000 in scholarships given away to children in the of members in the Matsu Borough, members of MEA. Sorry, it does extend to Eagle River too. And there was some door prizes, a truck, a gas lawnmower or electric lawnmower, and a Roomba, stuff like that. There was also the elections, the Matanuska district. Mark Masteller, the incumbent, was reelected, and then the at-large seat, Arthur Keyes, the incumbent, was reelected. And I think that's about all of it. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Assemblyperson Gamble, parting comment?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just wanted to say it looks like you got your hair cut, and it looks very nice, by the way. Thank you.
Assemblyperson Fauna, parting remark?
No comment.
No, you don't. Assemblyperson Fauna?
No comment.
Okay, all right. I do have a couple. While we are acknowledging people and the job they've done for the borough, we want to acknowledge that this is Lonnie's 24th. So next year will be 25, so we will do something next year. Okay, get prepared, lady.
It's like a quarter of a century.
I know.
Yeah, and it won't be a return trip to Hawaii. The other thing I wanted to call the Assembly's attention to, and this is something you can participate in if you want to, but when we have our Assembly meeting next Tuesday night, one of the proclamations we will be doing is for the Postal Service. They have the help staff stamp out food drive. And, you know, they ask people to put the food out beside the post office boxes, or, you know, even if you have clusters, and then they collect all of that. And so next Tuesday night, we will have some of them here, plus we will have the food bank here to receive that proclamation. And so I just wanted to let you guys know, I plan on bringing a few things to give to them, and I just think it would be a nice gesture. Anybody in the public, welcome, staff or anybody else, and or any of the Assembly people, because this is a time of need, and this will stay in our food bank here in the valley. So, any other parting comments of anything or anybody? Okay. Our clock went for 6:41. Is that what you got, ma'am? Okay, so I'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting at 6:41 p.m.
You will now be disconnected.